The personal examination by Pilate. Pilate took Jesus and John Zebedee into a private room and left the guards outside in the hall. He asked the prisoner to sit down, sat next to him, and asked several questions. Pilate began the conversation by assuring Jesus that he did not believe the first charge against him, that he was corrupting the people and inciting rebellion. Then he asked, "Have you ever taught that paying tribute to the emperor should be refused?" Jesus pointed to John and said, "Ask him or anyone who has heard what I teach." Pilate then questioned the apostle John about this matter of paying taxes, and John testified about his master's teachings, stating that Jesus and his apostles had paid taxes to both the emperor and the temple all these years. After questioning John, Pilate said, "Make sure you tell no one that I spoke with you," and John indeed never made this matter public. Pilate then turned again to Jesus to further question him and said, "And now regarding the third charge brought against you. Are you the king of the Jews?" Because there was a tone of possible sincere curiosity in Pilate's voice, Jesus smiled and said, "Pilate, are you asking this for yourself, or are you taking this question from my accusers?" To which the governor replied with a tone of slight indignation, "Am I a Jew? Your own people and the chief priests have handed you over to me and asked me to condemn you to death. I doubt the validity of their accusations and am only trying to find out for myself what you have done. Tell me, have you claimed that you are the king of the Jews? And have you tried to establish a new kingdom?" Jesus then answered, "Yes, but don't you see that my kingdom is not of this world? If my kingdom were of this world, then my followers would certainly have fought to prevent my arrest. The fact that I appear before you bound is enough to show everyone that my kingdom is a spiritual domain, the brotherhood of people who have become sons of God through faith and by love. And this salvation is for both the Gentiles and the Jews." Pilate looked at Jesus incredulously and asked, "Are you then, after all, still a king?" And Jesus answered, "Yes, in that sense I am a king, and my kingdom consists of all faith sons of my heavenly Father. I was born into this world for this purpose, that I would show my heavenly Father to all people and testify to the truth of God. Everyone who loves the truth will hear my voice." Pilate then said, half mockingly and half seriously, "Truth, what is truth? Who knows that?" Pilate was unable to grasp the depth of Jesus' words, nor could he understand the nature of his spiritual kingdom, but he was now certain that the prisoner had done nothing deserving of death. One look at Jesus face to face was enough to convince a man like Pilate that this gentle, majestic, and righteous man was not a wild, dangerous revolutionary out to seize a worldly throne for himself. Pilate thought he understood something of what Jesus meant when he called himself a king, for he was familiar with the Stoic teaching that the wise man is a king. Pilate was fully convinced that Jesus, rather than being a dangerous troublemaker, was nothing more than a harmless prophet, an innocent fanatic. After questioning Jesus, Pilate went back to Jesus' accusers and said, "I've questioned this man and find no guilt in him. I do not believe he is guilty of what you have accused him. In my opinion, he should be released." When the Jews heard this, they became very angry, so much so that they began shouting furiously that Jesus must die. One of the members of the Sanhedrin boldly approached Pilate and said, "This man is inciting the people. He started in Galilee, and now he is here in Judea. He is a troublemaker and a dangerous evildoer. You will regret it for a long time if you let this scoundrel go free." Pilate was in a serious predicament and did not know what to do with Jesus. But when he heard that Jesus had begun his work in Galilee, he thought he could avoid the responsibility of making a decision or gain some time to think about the matter by sending Jesus to the ruler of Galilee. For he knew that King Herod was also in Jerusalem for the Passover feast. Pilate also thought that this would be a good gesture toward Herod, as their relationship was strained due to jurisdictional disputes. Pilate called the guards and said, "This man is a Galilean. Take him directly to Herod, and after he has questioned him, report back to me with his findings." And they took Jesus to Herod.